The things that we want to mention before we get into that Pat Murray chat was that in the office during the week where you'd Niall O'Toole on and you were reflecting on the amazingness of Paul O'Donovan and how he really should be sort of just rubber stamped basically as Ireland's #1 sports person of all time.
It should, and you know what, I think we should like magic up Colm Boohig in studio. There he is.
How are you? Good job.
I was in the production box there a second ago.
Yeah.
The hell happened?
Wow. And it struck me that you know, he's obviously, I think it might have been you mentioned on that, or somebody mentioned that he's not even in Cork's. He's not even in Cork's Mount Rushmore
on Tuesday that Paul O'Donovan is not even in Cork's top 4 Irish sports people, even though we're having a conversation about him possibly being Ireland's greatest sports person.
But then the thing was, but like now we have the context of, you know, he's getting more amazing, and he might have, you know, as Niall said, like, what is the medal count? So we're going to get to a point where he unavoidably, if he's going to be debated as, you know, whether he's Ireland's top sports person of all time, he's surely got to be on Cork's Mount Rushmore. Cork's Mount Rushmore, easy for you to say.
I would think that's a prerequisite.
Over to you.
I would love nothing more. I would have nothing more to put Paul on this Mount Rushmore. My hands are tied, Paul.
Why?
I can't do it. I mean, I can't unless
we're reopening the Cork.
Can we have a fifth head?
Well, just say remind us.
What can you do? So everybody out there, for those who don't know, my 4 people on Cork's Mount Rushmore speak for themselves. Roy Keane, Sonia O'Sullivan, Christy Ring, Rodan O'Gara. Now, before everyone goes crazy, tell me here in the comments, who am I kicking out for Paul?
Well, don't worry about
nothing to do with Paul. Nothing to do.
Don't worry about
Paul.
Don't be outsourcing.
I'm a Paul O'Donovan fan.
Don't be outsourcing your responsibility here.
I am.
Come on, the question is to you.
I am.
What's your order of that 4?
Hold on now.
What's your...
Remember, no, I didn't come to you and say, please let me on the show again to talk about why Paul O'Donovan should be on Mount Rushmore. The burden is on everybody else.
No, so are you saying
to me why I should put... I can't put Paul on.
One question.
The burden's on...
Is Paul O'Donovan in the conversation as in the top 1, 2, 3 Irish sports people of all time?
He's getting there, isn't he?
Well, no, I'm not asking you for a vague, loose answer. Is he?
Yeah. He's getting there.
How is he not on one county's top 4? That doesn't make any sense.
I would say he is...
Can I put it to you this way?
Make up your mind about this.
Christy Ring
is... You need me for this conversation.
Is Christy Ring... Well, I'm trying to, probe beyond the nonsense and you outsourcing a responsibility for this crucial question.
Wow.
Is Christy Ring in the conversation for Ireland's greatest sports person of all time?
Greatest hurler of all time?
No, I'm talking about Ireland's greatest sports person.
You saw a lot of them, did you?
That's really good. That's quality. We'll miss that, won't we?
Who's closest
as I said at the time, 2.5 years ago, when I did the Mount Rushmore, it was the second one. Actually, and on that, the only 2 Mount Rushmores who did it with just one person was me and Nathan. Bravery, that is. Mayo and Cork were first. Everybody else had a partner. That's one point. That's 1 point. Yeah, I mean, with the production there. That's 1 point. Point 2 was what? What did you say to me there just before that point?
It was about how much of Christy have you actually seen? You know.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously you do the research. We do research for every segment we do. So I did the research for that, collated the data, and actually anecdotally spoke with Billy Boohig. Now you won't speak ill of Billy Boohig because you're a good friend of his.
Colm's dad, and he is a gentleman.
Yeah. So he saw him when he was very young, and he was behind the goal for one of Christy Ring's goals, and he ducked.
I was just being...
the sheer ferocity of the shot.
I was just being facetious about Christy Ring, by the way.
I know, I get that. I do understand that.
You don't need to...
So that's Christy.
Yeah.
Roy is Roy. And now I'm looking at the comments here.
You give us each contestant's resume. We know who they are. You're just avoiding the question again.
No, I'm looking at the comments here. So I'm saying there's Andrew O'Brien kicking Roy Keane to the curb. Now, I don't know how you would even begin to justify that. Then Mark Dunning comes in with Raj for me. But Raj was probably the most stats-heavy justification.
The fact that you're slipping out of screen there and slipping behind the desk and disappearing behind your laptop is very visually.
Well, I'm kind of looking at Jojo at the same time as well.
Of your points.
So, no, look, Paul, I love Paul O'Donovan. Oh my God, I love him. And actually,
not that much.
I was listening back to that Mount Rushmore during the week in anticipation of the potential of doing this segment, and we actually did say it at the end that I think you said to me, Owen, does Paul need to win gold here to be considered? And I was like, yeah, I think so, and I think in the next 5 to 10 years I mightn't have a choice but to put Paul on, and that maybe that will be the case someday. But what I'm struggling with all week long is I really don't know who I'd knock off to Mount Rushmore.
Who would you knock off?
No one.
No one. That's my point. That's exactly my point. I couldn't.
Paul
really.
O'Donnell's not in the top 4 Cork sports people of all time.
But
That's
hold on. Would you hold on a second? He's eligible for the other 31 counties.
Listen, is there anything more Cork?
But
I have
if
to say,
you were doing like an All Ireland Mount Rushmore,
He'd be in contention, yeah.
but he obviously wouldn't, like, because you've obviously got 4 Cork people ahead of him. So that
If I was doing it, or if one was, he is.
You were doing it.
And also I am, but I must stress that I'm a massive Paul O'Donovan fan, and I'm really struggling with this. That's why I said at the start, my hands are tied here.
I know that.
There's only 4 spaces. We have a great bench, though, don't we?
you're not even getting into a conversation about like how he might be better than other people who are on the list. You're just not entertaining it.
I have a great point here by TB in the YouTube comments. If Adrian wants to include Paul, why doesn't he want to include Fintan?
Well, like, it's not. I mean, thanks for the comment there, TV. But I mean, like, I doff my hat to.
There's a difference in level of success there.
Absolutely.
And I also doff my hat to Niall O'Toole, who'll tell you that it's Paul.
EH comes in. What a Sonia won, a silver medal at the Olympics. Well, Sonia was quite dominant. And speaking of the European Championships, look at her CV from the 1990s. She won.
But I also think there's like
gold galore. So she actually a really consistent, brilliant
world
career.
champion and also the sport.
World champion. Had that record from, was it 1994 to 2017 as well? Like.
But also it moves beyond
and also
medals
just
at a point, doesn't it? It's
cross-cultural figure, like incredibly influential. And look, maybe there is a kind of, who's a good kind of comparison there where it's not so much the CV. Maybe Paul McGrath's so beloved and he was in a Dublin Mount Rushmore, and there's absolutely no argument with that. But there are people with more glittering careers on the CV than Paul McGrath, but he's intangibly amazing. And that's kind of the same with Sonia in Cork.
I visually a second ago just realised that you're doppelganger for Mikel Arteta, and the stuff that's coming out of you now over the last sort of...
Oh, it's because I'm wearing the kind of grey jumper.
4 or 5 minutes
and
has
dark.
been
What a lazy
absolutely worthy of an all or nothing dressing room scene on. It's absolute like vague, avoiding the point, giving responsibility to other people.
Just to be clear on that.
I don't think we've got anywhere with that item.
Well, hold on. I wasn't saying to you in the running order, like, let's definitely do Cork Mount Rushmore.
I'm just saying that, like, you're not. There
was an argument for it.
You're contradicting yourself, and there's no way that we can push you into.
That's the one thing about this segment is I've been consistent. My point has been repeated 3 to 4 times. Do you know? And there are people in the comments getting involved. So
you can repeat it 100 times.
Obviously, it was worth it because there's people in the comments getting involved. So obviously, from a content perspective, it is worthwhile. Now, there's a great interview coming up here.
Colm Boohig, thank you for coming in there. Very good.